This is Ben Nevis. So this is the first peak. It's the highest peak. It's a long way to get to the top.
Well, I've got Scarfell, which is in the Lake District. It's the smallest, but it's the steepest and it's the hardest. Our second impossible.
I'm drawing Snowdon in Wales, which is the last peak. I've actually drawn the sun, but we're actually going to be doing it at night. So I need to turn that into a moon. By the time we get to Snowdon, we'll probably be quite ratty, very tired, but also quite pleased to see it, because once you've seen it, you can do it and finish the challenge.
Originally, it was just as a starting point for me to get fit again, basically. At the back end of the year, I hadn't been doing much exercise, so I entered myself into the London Marathon, which is April, and I was looking for something else to do after that, basically, and I saw an advertisement for it. Thought, yeah, that challenge sounds quite interesting, I'd like to do that. Looked into the charity it was for, and basically made my mind up off that.
Someone just said to me, do you fancy doing the 3 peaks? Without thinking about it, I just said yes, and that's how it all started.
When we said, yeah, we'll do that, it was months away. Just, it didn't mean anything. It was just, yeah, we'll do that. But then as it's got closer, it's like, oh my Lord, I've got to get up it. And we've got 3 of them.
The challenge required a team. I instantly thought of them, I thought they'd be interested in it, and just brought the subject up.
The challenge we're taking on is quite immense, really, and if 26 miles on the flat doing a marathon is going to damage you, running 3 mountains, which is over a longer distance, is going to absolutely wreck you if you don't train properly. Any time you can get, you train.
I live in Cheshire, it's like a billiard table. So basically it's going to the gym, get on the treadmill as high as I can get it, rucksack on with my weights in, just work as hard as I can.
Obviously involves a lot of running, just getting out at the weekends, doing like hill walks. Paddington Bear's the mascot for the charity, and basically we have to take him up each peak with us, and each team member will take turns in carrying him up to the top.
It's a 24-hour challenge. I think the fastest team last year walked it in 16.5 hours, so we shouldn't be far off that.
As long as we do it under 24, I'll be happy.
I think it does fit in quite well with the Impossible as Nothing, because there's all the work that you have to do to achieve it, and it's the end goal, which is to raise as much money for a charity. So in that sense, it really is Impossible is Nothing for us.
Never run before, actually. Yeah, just to catch a bus or something, but not just to do it in the evenings. And to run 10 kilometers, I thought it was really impossible, actually.
Well, it started at the office. I think it was Frank Bastos who came up with the idea, and he told us, do you want to run a marathon? Impossible is nothing, he said, so.
It's a great way to meet the colleagues and to get to know the company, so I just joined in. Yeah, and Adidas is a big sponsor of the Rotterdam Marathon, so then it was a great way to have the company joining as well.
We supported each other. When somebody had a rough time at training or at the marathon, then we would help each other to go on and say you can do this, and it was very great.
It was 3 trainings a week, and sometimes that was a bit difficult in the schedule, but it was okay. In the end, it was okay.
For me, it was starting. Yeah, once I got started, it was great, and I didn't stop at all, and I didn't have any problems to to train, but to start sometimes it was hard. Yeah, you know you have to run the marathon, so you're going to do it because you have to run it, so you have to train.
And of course the shoes. The shoes were, I think, an important part as well.
We had a foot scan, and then on that foot scan you can see how you run, how your foot goes when you're running. So that was very important. So I bought other shoes, and then it went great.
So we were 6 teams of 4 people, all running, just a part of the marathon, but with 4 a whole marathon. So yeah, that was very motivating actually.
And then the last one had a chip on his shoe so that they can measure the time.
The time I started running, I think it was already 1 or 2 o'clock. So at that moment of the day it was just incredibly hot. And you saw people already running and looking very tired from only just a few kilometers. And then you still have to start your 10 kilometers, so it was not very motivating to see.
There were 3 runners for me, and a third runner had to come to me, and then I would run further. But it didn't happen, he didn't come, so I was standing there and we thought, there are not a lot of people running. It was very strange, and then someone of the marathon came to us and said, well, we stopped the marathon because it's too hot. So that was a little bit disappointing. I was happy for my colleagues that they could run, but for us it was not a nice experience at that moment.
What's next? Finishing my graduation at Adidas is the first important next step, and then maybe even sometime running 20 kilometers would be great.
We didn't get to run, 4 of us, so we want to run another marathon. So that's my goal. I'm still training, so yes, I want to run.